Thank you, Mr. Master Evaluator, fellow Toastmasters, welcome guests. Linda, absolutely wonderful.
Right?
I thought your energy was spectacular. Your opening was really, really good. Because you kind of started out with, okay, who's familiar with Shakespeare? And then you started to talk about whether or not, when you said Shakespeare, we were like, oh, okay. And then you started reading the Shakespeare, and your rendition was a bit fast. And yeah, by the third line, I was like, oh, yeah. so I thought you kind of drew me in because I was like, okay, I don't know what I'm gonna say to her because I can't. Because you're not supposed to come here and say, oh Lord, this wasn't very good. But wonderful introduction. I also thought that even though some of us raised our hands, this is something I thought you could add. Most of us don't know very much about Shakespeare. That's just, we're American, that it just is what it is, and I bet you, and the reason I can tell you that is because I was trying to get a Shakespeare's quote. I asked David, is that a Shakespeare quote? We were like, yeah, we looked it up online, it was Elizabeth Barrett Brown. Anything to do with Shakespeare, we thought, how do I love me, let me count the ways. But I'm saying that to say, you talked about Othello, you talked about, I can't remember the witches one, and you talked about Romeo and Juliet, but people like me, and I don't know if everybody else was like me, once you move past Romeo and Juliet and Othello, it's just not good. I mean, in high school, I think I had a project to do on, and it might have been Othello, but somebody died in the pool, and I bought plastic and put some water in it and threw a doll face down and put something in there, and that was my project for the Shakespeare. I mean, I had to say something too, but just, yeah, that's about how much I know, and that's what I remember. So I think people aren't as familiar with it as you think that they are, so you might want to, spend some more time with us with that, or use more familiar quotes, because the quotes that you used, I had never heard. I mean, I didn't know, I assumed it might be from Othello, but I wasn't sure. Okay, it wasn't, I don't know. Watch your back too. That was another thing, because a couple of times I thought your back might have been to the people over here and or the people over here. I thought it was very well organized. You talked about the 3 reasons, and absolutely incredible, because I didn't know he made up words, or he made words, so I thought that was good. And the direction when you talked about the actors was good as well. And I thought it was very interesting, and I think your organization was great. Even your actual ending, I thought you summarized, and I was very, capable of following you. So thanks so much for sharing.